It is time. It is time to brew your best beer. The 2015 Sjporr Challenge is brought to you by the Grainbill Homebrew Supply, located in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Brewers Exchange, operating in the U.S. and Canada. Finney's Homebrew Emporium, located in Bishopdale, Christchurch, New Zealand. And Omega Yeast, located in Chicago, Illinois.
Here we are, 6A5. I think in the comp it's 6E5, but let's give it a whirly whirl. Oof, you could definitely pick up the bourbon. Now I know you said you use local bourbon, and I will do my best to not judge you down on that, because that means you use Virginia bourbon, and I particularly believe that to be a true good bourbon, it needs to be from Kentucky. That's just a fact.
I like how you have more allegiance to the state I spent time in than you do, than I do.
I have relatives from the state. I'm born and raised. Born and raised in Sjporr. I actually don't even remember what city it was. Was it Frankfurt?
Bardstown.
I was close.
Not even close.
I could have said any city in the... You could have said any city in the state. I was like, oh, ballpark. Ballpark close.
Not close.
It's a very big ballpark. It's like Olympic ballpark. Wow, you really pick up the vanilla and the bourbon on that. There's a nice khaki color head. It's kind of dissipating. I'm going to take a second. Look at that lacing. That is some really good lacing. I love doing that. Woo. This is almost always how I spill a beer, because I'm like, look at the lacing. Look how close I can get.
Yep, there's bourbon in that.
So this one was Imperial Stout with Virginia bourbon whiskey. Virginia bourbon whiskey. I guess I got that right.
Yep, there's bourbon in that. I don't love it. I don't like bourbon though.
There's definitely, it finishes off with a very boozy, with a boozy feel from the bourbon. You can pick that up, and definitely the oak.
Yep, I don't like oak.
There's a lot of oak in that.
Not a Christie beer.
If you, yeah.
Sorry.
If you're, oak's an acquired taste. I mean, you're talking to someone who has black coffee every morning and loves it. And every morning I'm like, how can I make this blacker? It's almost like, what was that metal cartoon I used to watch? Metalocalypse? I think that's what they were like, how do we make the deepest, darkest metal? That's what I want in my coffee and my beers. What is it? It is not a U beer.
It's not a U beer.
But there's a lot of oak in there. There's definitely...
I can see why people would like it.
There's definitely...
I'm just not one of them.
There's definitely bourbon, and I don't think it's a bad bourbon. I don't...
No, I think it's a perfectly good beer. I just don't like it.
I think it's almost like it could be qualified to be made in Kentucky bourbon. Because it's almost a good bourbon. Here's what... compliment
or insult, but...
What I'm going to say right away is, if you had said you had made this with Eagle Rare, I wouldn't even need to have tasted it. I would have known it would have been a 10. Or Pappy Van Winkle. And if you said you made it with Pappy Van Winkle, I would have wanted your address, so I could have broken into your house and stole the rest of it. Which I guess technically that wouldn't be petty theft, would it? That'd probably be grand larceny.
Well, how much is the bottle of that?
Over 100.
No, I think grand larceny is over like 5.
Oh, perfect. Then I would go to minimum jail, not federal pound me in the ass.
Yeah, please don't go to jail. We need your income.
And my pretty face, maybe?
Yeah.
Thanks, honey.
Love you.
Alright, so the malt, I'd say actually it's almost a little thin. I'm not getting a ton of malt.
I'm not tasting again, so you're on your own there.
I'm not getting a ton of malt. It's a smidge on the thin side, I think, but I like the oak taste. I definitely like that. I think the vanilla and the bourbon kind of even out the oak, which is nice. You definitely get that roasted malts. There's a good khaki head. I can kind of bring the head back, which is a very good sign. If you can bring it back, that's a good sign. If you can't, obviously that would not be a good sign. But it's got a very beautiful khaki color, Look at that. I love doing that with the lacing. Very nice. Yeah, I would say just a little on the thin side. That would really be my only criticism. Not complaint. It's not a complaint. Ooh, burp. It's a little on the thin side, but other than that, you definitely pick up the bourbon. I think you really get like that perfect smell of almost like when you go on like a bourbon tour and you walk in their basement and you get that oaky vanilla bourbon taste, and it's just like, oh, how do I live here? You kind of get that. That's literally what I think of every time I go on the tour. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I've never been on a tour.
Oh, it's the best.
Because I don't like bourbon.
Minus the fact that they say they do have spiders in there, and that kind of freaks me out. And watching your dad walk through the cellar is hysterical.
Take it the short.
Oh, they're tiny short. Even I have to duck. So it's hysterical. This is a good beer. I like this. My only criticism, I think it's a little on the thin side, but you really get the malts. You get the oak, the vanilla, and the bourbon. I think you did a very good job. This is a good beer, my man. This is a good beer indeed. So hit me up if you have any questions or what else you thought I thought of the beer. I think there was enough thoughts in that sentence to confuse anyone. So cheers. Thank you very much for being in the competition.
Bye.